Peter, police say a man is fighting for his life at Meritus Medical Center in critical condition after he was shot here on Jonathan Street just before 4 o'clock. They still will not give any of the results of those TB skin tests they administered last Friday to 200 staff and students, and they say it's due to privacy laws. Calm down a little bit, and I'm actually here with master shopper Arnold from Martinsburg.
For neighbors who were outside this apartment after the boy collapsed, seeing his small body strapped to a gurney was devastating.
The change of command happens every 3 years.
It's time to get screened. You just step right up to this machine and it only takes a few minutes. Master Sergeant Dugan is on a 6-month deployment. Christmas for the Dugan family will actually be coming in March. The family's now looking for a new place to live, and they're working with the housing authority to find one. They show a perspective from a high blood alcohol content level of 0.17 to 0.20. And as you can see, they really mess up your vision. Paul, officials say they found kerosene heaters in the mobile home, and a tank of kerosene was visible at the scene. And meanwhile, those in the neighborhood are mourning the loss of a beloved friend. It was a fire that raged out of control, taking a life and devastating a community.
I was awakened at 2 in the morning or so, and when I seen the fire, I was immediately appalled because it was just a crying shame it happened to somebody like that.
Paul Benjamin, who lived in the home, was 78 years old. He was a horse trainer for 40 years and was beloved in the community.
One day if you didn't have something, he tried to get around, make sure you had it.
I was always worried about him living here by himself.
Just the day before, he'd been visiting with friends for the holidays.
He come down to the house and got me early that morning, and we went out to get some tea.
The fire was powerful enough to completely destroy the inside of the trailer and buckle the roof. Neighbors had just seen the victim bringing cans of kerosene for the heaters that he kept inside. The fire marshal also says the kerosene heaters were surrounded by flammable material. Benjamin's body was found by the door.
It was like all the shreds, like the fire was so big and all you seen was the smoke, and then it kept on going. They finally got it out.
Only to discover a tragic loss. A memorial service for Paul Benjamin will be held tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the Mount Zion AME Church in Duffields. And officials also say the fire caused about $50,000 in damage. Paul, back to you. As friends mourn the loss of 3-year-old Kaiwan Connolly, they now realize the signs of the lifetime of abuse he may have suffered.
By looking at it, you could tell something was going on. But I didn't really want to come out and say anything because it wasn't none of my business and all that.
It never crossed my mind that it would be this.
Police say it's one of the worst child abuse cases they've ever seen. Both James Malden and his girlfriend Jasmine Dawkins have been charged with child abuse resulting in death. After Kaiwan collapsed at his home on Joshua Drive in Martinsburg, Dawkins told police she had seen Malden beating him in the head just a few days before.
I don't know why she wouldn't tell, because they have a baby together.
Police say his mother lives in Prince George's County and served a 9-month sentence for child neglect.
As soon as I told her, she hung up the phone.
Police say CAT scans revealed old injuries starting from when Kaiwan was just a few months old.
You did see bruises on his arms, stuff like that, but by being there with his dad and stuff, didn't look like his dad would do something like that.
Police say burns on the child's lower body came from a metal pan Malden would heat when he would force the child to sit in a squat position as punishment.
He would heat up a pan and put it underneath the child, and the child would obviously get tired, causing multiple burn marks to his lower body.
But somehow the abuse never broke Kaiwan's spirit.
He was sweet. He was the sweetest thing. Like, if you met him, you'd fall in love with him.
Despite the abuse, friends say Kaiwan was a playful child who loved to sing. But they remember one question he would always ask them.
He always asked, he said, "Can I come home with you?" That's what he asked.
Now the apartment where Kaiwan lived is covered with memorials.
Yellow roses, because yellow means peace.
But for him, this home was hell on earth. In Martinsburg, Katie Kairos, WHAG News. They're making a list.
Give me one of them hammers. I got one.
Checking it twice.
Sandpaper and get the edges off.
But these aren't Santa's helpers. They're inmates working at Western Correctional Institution.
I made some bad choices in my life, and I'm trying to make amends, and I feel as though that this is a start.
He's been in a wheelchair since a car accident 3 years ago. He was driving. His fiancée was killed.
So I got to live with that. You know, and we have a child together.
He was charged with vehicular manslaughter. His 5-year-old son lives with his parents.
My mom is taking care of him, so eventually I have to explain to him what happened to his mom. So I got to deal with that too.
As he makes the toys, he thinks of his son.
He's a good kid, you know, he's grateful. My mom takes care of him, and, you know, he gets pretty much what he wants.
And makes the toys he wishes he could watch him open on Christmas morning.
Rabbits, we have trucks, we have drag racer, duck.
This may not look like Santa's workshop, but the toy makers inside do spend a lot of time designing with the kids in mind. They try to make toys for both boys and girls, and that's how they came up with this swan idea for the girls.
These toys are going to underprivileged children through charities throughout the area. We have 6 charities this year that are going to receive 900 toys.
For them, they're more than just toys.
It has become a project that is really close to our heart, which gives the inmates a great opportunity and also helps the community.
But true gifts.
I feel just because I made so many mistakes in my life that maybe I can make up for it in a way.
In Cumberland, Katie Kairos, WHAG News.